As Israel enters its fifth week of war with Hamas, calls for a ceasefire are growing louder, with demonstrations held in cities around the world and right here in the U.S. Meanwhile, the U.S. Secretary of State is promising more humanitarian assistance in Gaza. NBC's Tracy Wilkins has the latest.
Israeli troops may enter Gaza City today or Tuesday in ground warfare that's expected to increase casualties on both sides of the conflict. Hamas is reporting that over the weekend, Israel struck a refugee camp in Gaza, killing dozens, according to NBC News. Israel's military is not commenting on that claim. This as U.S. Arab allies are pleading with the U.S. to rein Israel in.
Human values dictate that we work for peace and we stop this madness.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken heard those calls firsthand during his weekend trip to the Middle East.
Every country I talk to is looking for us to play a leading role with our diplomacy to try to make progress on all of these different aspects of the crisis.
Blinken spent the weekend building support for President Biden's call for Israel to take humanitarian pauses in Gaza to help free more than 200 hostages, including some Americans, and allow for the safe transport of food, water, and medicine. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his allies are rejecting calls for a pause.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is going to do what he wants to do here. And look, this has been obviously the pattern with him with multiple U.S. presidents.
Protesters across the globe and in the U.S. held demonstrations this weekend.
Bring them home.
During Sunday's New York City Marathon, pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian supporters holding dueling protests. In D.C., tens of thousands of protesters called for Israel to cease fire, something the U.S. does not support.
Palestine! Free Palestine!
While mostly peaceful, those protesters left their mark, smeared red handprints on the walls and gates of the White House, representing blood. In Washington, Tracy Wilkins, NBC News.